Hi folks, welcome to another edition of the three things that I learned this week video. How is every one of you doing? I know you all are doing well. I'm super excited to be here again today, and I know you are super excited to hear what the Lord has for you today, and together we're going to have a beautiful and wonderful time today. I can assure you that. But as usual, my name is Ayodeji Onifade, and here are the three things that I learned this week. The first thing I want to talk about is that stop complaining and move forward. Yes, stop complaining. This is the time to move forward. I know a lot of time in life when we are faced with a brick wall or when we're in a difficult circumstances, the humanly thing to do is to begin to complain, to begin to murmur and talk about the problems and magnify the issues that are surrounding us instead of moving forward to try and solve the problem. But most of the time what we do is that we complain. I remember a classical case in the scripture in the book of Exodus 14 chapter 15. The nation of Israel had just left. They were in Egypt for 400 years. They were in slavery for 400 years. For those 400 years, they were crying unto the Lord, oh, please save us from slavery. We are tired of this place. This place is a living hell. God eventually heard their prayers, sent Moses to deliver them from the land of Egypt. To cut the long story short, they left Egypt. They were in the middle of the desert. They were going to the promised land that God promised them. And then all of a sudden, Egypt realized, what have we done? Why did we allow these people to go? We have enslaved them for 400 years. They literally built our country. Who is going to do all these jobs? So they gathered their army and they were chasing against the nation of Israel. So they got to a point where the nation of Israel was stuck between the deep blue sea, the Red Sea, and then the armies of Egypt that were coming behind them. And there where these popular words saying stuck between the deep blue sea and the devil. So they didn't know what to do. And as humans, they cried and began to complain. Oh, why did you take us out of Egypt? You brought us out of Egypt to come and die. We were doing a lot better than we are doing right now. You should have left us in Egypt, blah, 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 and things like that. And then we're beginning to cry unto God. And God said, you guys, don't stop crying, stop complaining, move forward. And I'm sure it was like, God, that's an ocean in front of us. What do you mean, move forward into the ocean? God said, move forward. A lot of us are stuck in that kind of situation in our lives right now, where what you are seeing is the problem instead of seeing the solution. To God, rather, God was not seeing the ocean. God was seeing a dry ground. A lot of us, when we are in a fix, or when we are in trouble, or when there is a challenge before us, or a stumbling block before us, all we see is those problems. We're trying to magnify those problems than they are. But God is saying that you and I right now, that you need to open your spiritual eye. You need to open that visionary eye from inside of you that will make you and I to see beyond the problems, to see beyond the challenge. God told them, move forward. That's a dry ground ahead of you. But what all they kept saying is what? The deep blue sea. And also remember, after God took them, across the Red Sea on dry ground, and they were in a place in Horeb for a while. God has promised them that they will be in Canaan, and they just stood in one place and they were already complaining again and things like that, and saying, you took us out of Egypt. We're in the middle of nowhere. What are you going to do? And God said to them, you have stayed in this position for too long. It is time to move. Some of you have been in positions where you are not supposed to be right now. You have been on the same spot for years, and you are thinking and you are saying, when is my time going to come? And you are sitting there complaining. I want to tell you, God is telling you, it is time for you to make that move. Don't be afraid. Some of you want to write a business proposal. Some of you want to travel. Some of you want to go on an adventure. This is the time to move. Nothing is going to happen if you stay in that position. The nation of Israel was promised a promised land somewhere, but they were not going to get there if they stood in Horeb. And that was why God told them that they had stayed in that position for too long, that it was time to move. That is a prophetic work for somebody watching me right now. God is telling you right now, you have stayed in that position for too long. It is time for you to move. And I encourage you and dare you to take that move. So the second thing that I learned this week is from a quote, a very popular quote that we know very much. It says, Rome was not built in a day. But there's this second part that caught my attention in the course of it. It says, Rome was not built in a day, but they were laying the blocks every hour. Wow. And I was like, that's true. Rome was not built in a day, but they were laying the blocks, the bricks of that city every hour. You know, a lot of times it got me thinking, a lot of times in our life, we want things to happen just like that. A lot of us have big dreams. We want to start big businesses. We want to earn so much money, but we think that we're just going to earn that much more money in just one day, or our business is just going to evolve in one day into a conglomerate. But the second part of that quote said that they were laying the bricks every hour. And that got me thinking that to get to a position of your dream, you need to start putting on a daily basis the things, those building blocks that will make your city, to make that your dream city, that's your dream job, Lord, that's your dream business. You need to continue to put in, the things that are needed, the building blocks on a daily basis. Some of us are just thinking, they say, yeah, I want to start a business and you need 20 million naira or $20 million and you're looking for $20 million. Start with 10,000 naira, start with $10,000, start building that business from the scratch, start learning the intricacies of that business. As time goes on, in years to come, you'll just find yourself from the experience and the lessons that you have garnered all the way, you will be able to build a conglomerate. And that is why you and I need to start laying the bricks of any city, when I mean city, quote and unquote, of what you want to build right now. Rome was not built in a day, but you can lay the bricks of that city every hour. What are the things you need to start doing? I encourage you to start doing it. Just like I talked about in the first thing that I learned, that is saying God is telling somebody to move. Moving takes one step. The journey, they say, of 10,000 years start with the first step. I think the first thing and the second thing this week is telling us the same thing, that look, right now, start building those blocks. It may seem like where you are going to is still far up, but you need to start building those blocks. Take one block at a time. Take one day at a time. When you begin to do that cumulatively over years, you will find out that you have built a city. And the third and the final thing that I learned this week, this is kind of funny. It came from my one of my daughter's piece, the one before the last. And there was this day I was minding my own business. I was I wouldn't say I was worried, but I was thinking, I was a little bit down, but I was doing something in the kitchen. I can't remember precisely what I was doing then. And this girl, out of the blue, just walked up to me, and then she just said, "Daddy, don't worry, everything is going to be all right. You would achieve those things you want to achieve." I said, "Why are you saying this? Who asked you to come and tell me?" He said, "Nobody told me to come and tell you this, but that I just feel like I should come and tell you that everything is going to be all right and you achieve those things that you want to achieve." And the third thing that I want to talk about, that inspiration can come from anywhere. And I was looking at the younger, I'm not even sure she knows what it was saying, what she was saying rather, but she just came and gave me those words. Some of you here watching me right now needs words of inspiration, needs words of encouragement, needs somebody to reassure you on the journey that you are right now, that this is the right journey, this is the right place, this is the right thing that you should be doing right now. Just like my daughter brought me that word of inspiration, I am bringing you words of inspiration to you to tell you today that it's going to be all right. It's going to be well with you. I know that somebody watching me right now who needs to hear this word. Just like my daughter in the course of it taught me that inspiration can come from anywhere. I'm trying to inspire to you that don't give up. This is not the time to give up. This is time to press on. I believe strongly that this video is for someone who is on the verge of giving up, who is on the verge of just staying in one position, who is on the verge of just saying, look, I'm done with this. It's not yet over. God has not closed the time. And this got me thinking about, some of us who like football game. I'm not talking about the American football. I'm talking about, the real football balls you kick with your leg. There are times in the course of the game when players will begin to waste time and balls will go out. But on the scoreboard, the time might read 90 minutes. But God, the referee, most of the time stops time when it feels like some people are wasting time. So maybe on the scoreboard, the time might be saying it's 90 minutes, but on the referee's watch, it might be saying 89 minutes. It might be saying 88 minutes. The people out there, the world clock might be telling you time is over, that it is done for you. But in God's timing, God is the referee of your life. God is the one in charge of it, but God is saying it ain't done yet. Time, you still have time. It's not over with for you yet. So if you are that person, I'm encouraging you, just like my daughter encouraged me this week, never to give up. Keep going. Your time is not over. Yes, and those are the 3 things that I learned in the course of this week, and these videos that bless you. Please give this video a like, leave a comment for me in the comment section below, share this video to so many friends of yours that you can. And until next time, like I always say, never stop learning and only be that which God wants you to be. Peace out.